Talk of the Trollway spotlights Mount Horeb, Wisconsin's dynamic world of art, entertainment, hobbies, and travel. Funding for Talk of the Trollway is provided by Miller & Sons Supermarket.
A self-taught photographer who's been around art her entire life, Vicki travels throughout the Driftless area looking for her next subject. She often gets photographic whiplash as her roving eye examines a farmer's field or the coming horizon for just the right combination of light, color, and motion. Whether she is on her way to her day job or taking a week off to focus on her photography, Vicki is rarely without her digital camera, and she is the subject of this episode of Talk of the Trollway. I'm your host, Gary Schutz.
Well, I always knew I wanted to be an artist, but I've been an artist since I was a little girl. Just always doing art. My whole family did art, and it just seemed like the thing to do. So,
what sort of art did you do as a girl?
Draw. I would draw and paint, and
so fairly typical kid sort of things.
Yep. And then as I got older, like in high school, my girlfriends were out chasing boys, and I would be home drawing. So I did a lot of drawing.
When did you first pick up a camera?
My mother was a professional photographer, so I picked up her camera a lot and played with her camera a lot, and she never had a problem with me messing with her camera, and she would show me things on her camera. And so if I went out photographing with her, which she would have to coax me into it because I did not want to go with her, didn't want to hang out with my mom, she would have me seeing things through the viewfinder, you know, that I'd never seen before. My dad was a steam fitter for John Deere. However, he was a huge artist on the side. He was like a folk artist, but he built big ships, all piecemeal in airplanes, and he would string all the strings through them and made little miniature people for them. And he made clocks, and he made wood carvings, and he made wood furniture, and he painted. And so both of my parents were artists. There's a photograph that I took of a double rainbow. I was laying on the couch taking a nap, and the room all of a sudden changed colors. I mean, it became silver and then gold, and I was like, what's going on? There's something going on. And I will notice it before a rainbow that things get very silvery out, or the whole temperature of the outside changes colors before a storm. I don't know if you've ever noticed that it turns really yellow sometimes. There's Absolutely. Just really strange things that happen with the coloring outside. Anyhow, I was sleeping on the couch, and all of a sudden this color started changing the room, and I just jumped up and out the door. Just, I gotta go right now. And so, yeah, it just, drama outside wakens me up. Photography is all about drama. I'm looking for anything and everything, and you know, a lot of people, other photographers in Wisconsin, I joined this website called Capture Wisconsin, and what I've noticed with them is that they enjoy being together. They like shooting together, and they will pick a place like a waterfall, and they'll all go to the waterfall. But I find 200 things between here and the waterfall that I never make it to the waterfall. One of my favorite, one of my personal favorites, might not be for other people, but is the scene on the Kickapoo River. We were in the river, and we were coming near the end of the canoe, or the end of the paddle, and we're going to get out. And I saw a scene that I really liked, and I knew that shooting it from the middle of the river was going to be the way to go. So my husband was with me, and I said, let's unpack the canoe and put it over to the side, and I'll get out and shoot this. And so I got out in the water. It was moving relatively quickly, and just as I'm shooting, the first time, 3 young boys, all with their shirts off, canoed past me right into the scene. And I was like, oh, my heart just went, oh. And so I just shot as quickly as I could because I knew that they weren't going to come back. The more elements I can get into the scene, the happier I am. It just creates more of something for your eye to follow around in the picture. I think it's just, it tells more of a story. It gives more of a story. The picture gets more in depth with another element into the picture. I mean, like the snow that's laden on the branches, and a couple going for a walk in the snow laden. I mean, it's one thing to get the scene with just with the snow laden, but what are the chances of getting a couple walking through this beautiful scene, sure, hand in hand in love? And I've been really lucky being able to get these scenes. The best pictures are the ones that you hardly have to fiddle with. Those are the ones where if you have to do a lot of work to an image, you're destroying that image. Your chances of that image looking big on the wall and looking good have been brought way down because you've fiddled with it way too much and you've overworked the photograph. And I have learned that time and time again that helped in the past to be able to know how to manipulate photos, but the best photos are the ones that you least have to manipulate. There'll be a sunset, okay, and you have two different exposures. You'll have the sky exposure and you'll have the ground exposure. And a lot of times people take pictures and they silhouette. The sky will turn out beautiful and dark and gorgeous, and then the land will turn out black. But that's not the way the human eye sees it. The human eye sees it, we see everything. It's really hard. The camera cannot capture what the human eye can see. And so the camera is basically just a tool, and Photoshop is just a tool. And hopefully the two worlds and your human eye and what you saw can bring it all together. No, the best best telephoto lens in the world are your feet. I like that. I try to get with my feet as close to the scene as possible, unless of course it's something that I can envision brought in better with the lens. On this particular lens, I want to shoot right on into the cove down there and capture the reflections on the water, maybe hopefully get some of the birds in the scene and make it a nice layout. And with this lens is going to pull that scene together. It's beautiful. I like this one because it's got these strong lines that come through here. But I want to see if there's one that I didn't cut off the top of the trees so much. But I wanted to not have the sky in it, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for, in the shots that I took, for the ones that are the most in focus. So I want to make sure the little ducks are in, the geese are in focus, and that none of them are moving so much that they're a blur. All right. If I want to bring out more detail in this area, I'm going to dodge it, which Ansel Adams did in the darkroom, only he did it with these little sticks as the image was being developed.
He did it chemically.
Right, he did it chemically and with the projector. So color dodge, and I'm going to try to bring out some detail more in some of these shadows down here. There's a lot of different things you can do here. And I'm going to bring it just upping my contrast here. And as you can see, is if you just up the contrast, it's gonna already pop the colors. This one's for highlights. Bring my highlights down a little bit. Lighten up my shadows a little bit, and maybe bring in some more black. Clarity. Now I'm adding more color. There's vibrance and saturation. And look at the difference. That's not even exactly what I saw this morning, but I like it better. The best pictures are the ones that you don't have to mess with. I'll get emails out of the blue and somebody will say, can I buy a print from you? And I always ask them, how did you hear about me? And usually I do Facebook, I do social media, and I post a lot of pictures there. And I have a website, which is VickiFrancePhotography.com. We really make that plug. And lately, I've been very lucky with hospitals and healthcare clinics and people that are. I've had art buyers out of Chicago and interior decorating design companies that are designing for clinics and hospitals, and they contact me. And recently I just did a big sale for a new UW clinic that's going in down by the University Hospital. And it's great. They bought 32 very, very large pictures for an office, and I will be decorating the entire, all my art will be all over in that office. I made my own luck.
Next time on Talk of the Trollway, you'll meet 4 local women who have more than 100 combined years of experience creating quilts of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host, Gary Schutz.
Talk of the Trollway is a production of Mount Horeb Village Cable. Funding for Talk of the Trollway is provided by Miller & Sons Supermarket. Talk of the Trollway is on Facebook, where your comments and story ideas are welcome.